There's no way, it just sucks when it gets to a point to where there's no way to change what happened. There's no way for me to bring this girl back. It just sucks when it gets to the point to where you can't do anything.
Hey everyone, it's Charles Smith here, and today we're going to uncover everything about Jocelyn Flores and X. But before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. In August of 2017, X released his debut studio album, 17. In terms of marketing, the album had no radio promotion or significant press coverage, yet it still became a commercial success. It debuted at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 200 and went double platinum. This album followed the massive success of his breakout hit, Look at Me. Most people expected the album to match the high energy and chaos of his biggest hit at that time, but 17 was a stark departure. The album was somber and dark, with many tracks exploring recurring themes like depression and death. In this video, we'll focus on one of the tracks from the album with a haunting backstory, Jocelyn Flores. This tragic story unfolded in May 2017, just 3 months before 17 was released. Jocelyn Flores was a 16-year-old from Cleveland, Ohio. X invited her to Florida to meet him and stay with him, but during the trip, she was found dead. The cause of death was ruled as suicide. Before we dive into this story, if you or someone you know is struggling with suicidal thoughts, please reach out for help and share your feelings. There are free resources available on the screen. There is hope, and these feelings are not permanent. Now let's rewind and explore how the young rapper and Jocelyn Flores connected and examine some of the events leading up to this tragedy. According to X's sworn police statement, he first messaged Jocelyn on May 2nd, 2017. Just 11 days before her death, Jocelyn had built up a significant social media following and could be considered an early micro-influencer. X saw a picture of her on Twitter and thought she looked pretty, so he sent her a DM. The two messaged back and forth before exchanging numbers and soon began FaceTiming. During one of their FaceTime calls, X suggested that she come down to visit him. Jocelyn handed the phone to her mother, and X asked for her mom's permission to purchase a ticket, which her mom agreed to. It seemed like a unique opportunity and adventure for Jocelyn. She'd get the chance to visit Florida, relax, have some fun, and take a breather. 9 days later, the 16-year-old landed in Florida. X had invited another girl to stay with him that same weekend, who was identified in the police report only as Zoe. By all accounts, the first night passed without any incident, although tension began to build between the two girls. At that time, X was planning to launch a clothing line called Revenge and had been looking for models. He told the police that he and Jocelyn had not discussed modeling before she flew down, and he only hired her after she arrived. According to both the Flores family and X, the visit was intended to be romantic, not professional. On the second day of the visit, X had plans to accompany his cousin to prom.
Going to prom. I never thought I was gonna go to prom. Since I went to jail, you did. I went to jail instead, but hey, I got the opportunity. Thank you, you were blessing me.
X left the apartment where they were all staying and headed to the dance. Hours passed, and when he returned that evening, he noticed that around $7,000 in cash was missing. This was money he had made from shows and had kept in a bag inside the apartment. X interrogated both girls staying with him about the missing money, but neither Jocelyn nor Zoe could account for it. In his statement to the police, X said that each girl blamed the other. Tensions reached a boiling point when Jocelyn claimed that Zoe had badmouthed X behind his back. This stirred things up even more, and the argument escalated, with the girls threatening to fight each other. At the time, 19-year-old X had only been out of jail for 61 days and was still on probation. He warned Jocelyn and Zoe that they couldn't fight in his apartment and told them they had to leave. He also said he no longer wanted Jocelyn to model for Revenge. According to 3 separate statements to the police, X offered to buy Jocelyn a plane ticket back to Ohio, but she rejected it. X then left the apartment to go to dinner. Jocelyn texted him in a panic, asking if he was serious about kicking her out. The police report states that the conversation ended with X informing Jocelyn that she could no longer stay with him. The last text message between them was that night, on May 13th at 10:35 p.m. This was their final conversation. 10 minutes later, Jocelyn was in the backseat of a car with 2 of X's friends en route to the Hampton Inn. The men didn't know her at all. They had only met her a few hours before. Later, they would tell officers from the Coconut Creek Police Department that they never even learned her name. The 2 young men and Jocelyn checked into the Coconut Creek Hampton Inn at 11:20 p.m. that night. In a sworn statement to investigators, one of the men recalled driving to the hotel and chatting with his friend while Jocelyn sat in the backseat, mumbling something about lesson learned. Upon arrival, they booked room 515 on the top floor, a mid-sized suite with 2 queen beds. Jocelyn arrived with a small red suitcase, wearing a black shirt, black sweatpants, and socks with sandals, covering her black hair with a long blonde wig. The boys, who had no luggage, helped her into the room and then left to get food. About 30 minutes later, the police report notes that one of them returned and noticed that Jocelyn was in the bathroom with the light on. He texted a friend to hang out and left again to go smoke. After 45 minutes, he came back to find the bathroom still lit and locked from the inside. But it was late. He was tired from smoking and went went to bed, falling asleep instantly and not waking up until 7 a.m. On Mother's Day morning, he noticed that the bathroom door was still shut, and it finally occurred to him to call for help. Within minutes, a hotel employee arrived with a screwdriver and slid the flat end behind the handle, unlocking the door from the outside. When the man saw the girl's feet overturned on the bathroom floor, he feared the worst, and a police officer would later confirm that the 16-year-old Jocelyn Flores was dead. The death was immediately declared a suicide. According to Jocelyn's family, they never heard from X or had the opportunity to discuss her last days with him, despite their numerous attempts. However, 1 week after Jocelyn's death, X began a live stream on Instagram.
There was this girl that had basically flew down here. Great girl, beautiful girl, wonderful personality, showed no signs of depression whatsoever. She, in a way unexplained, she killed herself when she came down here. I basically got on here today to kind of address her and her family because I haven't been able to obviously contact her family personally. I'm basically on here to pay my condolences. Rest in peace, Jocelyn. My condolences to her family. Right now, I feel as if you all, I don't know.
This live stream was the only time Jocelyn's family heard X talk about her death. Things remained silent until several months later in August, when they saw Jocelyn's name being used as the title of one of X's songs. It would have been hard for the family not to notice, as the song hit number 31 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart shortly after its release. Then, less than a year later, when X was murdered, the song made its way back onto the Billboard chart, peaking at number 19. The family had strong and mixed feelings about the use of Jocelyn's name for the song. However, it seems that they all agree it would have been better if X had asked for their permission or at least reached out to them directly after the incident. This is a heavy topic. What do you think about this situation? If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I post hip-hop related content every week, so check out my other videos as well. Thank you for watching and have a great day.